Part 6. Lawyer Victor Zammit cross-examines skeptic James Randi on the Carlos Hoax. This is a continuation from Part 5. This would be fairly close to a real cross-examination. The information is taken from what close-minded materialist J. Swingy Randi has already accepted and implied. Some very minor flexibility and embellishment, consistent with Swingy Randi's beliefs and record, have been used for easier reading and understanding of the script. In no way this close-minded skeptic's beliefs are misrepresented. Words in caps are there for emphasis, very important in cross-examination. Part 6. The Carlos Hoax, in Sydney, fake medium, in the Opera House. Victor, you're on record, James Randi, for showing that you are some kind of an expert at organizing hoaxes, right? James Randi: yes, I do. Some things to show. Victor, you've answered the question. Yes, you said. Randi: all right. Victor: and, with all your expertise at organizing hoaxes, does not the record show that you were not able to catch just one gifted medium as a fraud? Randi: they're all frauds. Victor, projecting again, let me quickly preface the next question. The record shows that you virtually said you gave careful coaching to this Jose Alvarez in this Carlos Hoax. Sometime in 1987, you sent this fraud Jose Alvarez to Australia for him to pose as a guru, supposedly channeling a 1,000-year-old spirit, and to deceive, to be dishonest, to cheat, to get into public nuisance, right? Randi: that's right, but I don't call it cheating. I call it education. Victor: but you admit that it was a hoax? Randi: yes, it was a hoax. Victor: are you trying to plate sin with gold? In other words, are you trying to say that a hoax, which means deception and dishonesty, ought to be regarded as a positive thing, and that people should make dishonesty and cheating socially acceptable, yes or no? Randi: yes, I mean no, but the hoax was successful. Victor: the hoax, the misrepresentation, the dishonesty, the cheating, the fraud onto the people, all were successful, you say? Randi: yes, it was. It was the media which promoted the affair. Victor: did you not claim that national television channel 9, 16 Minutes, television station contacted you even before Alvarez left the United States? Randi: yes, I did. Victor: so, you claim, you and Channel 9, 16 Minutes, concocted this Carlos Hoax? Do you know that 60 Minutes Channel 9 completely denies that? Randi: I communicated with them and they responded. Victor: but according to the public record, you contacted the television station first, right? Randi: yes, you could say that. Victor: does not the record show that this fraudulent Alvarez, trained in dishonesty by you, was exposed by Channel 9's own 60 Minutes television show journalist George Negus? Randi: he was not exposed. Victor: oh no. Then why, according to published media reports, one of your stooges, during the television interview, threw a glass of water onto Channel 9 journalist George Negus' face, when George Negus exposed your stooge as a fraud? Randi: no answer. Victor: the humiliating exposing of your stooge was widely publicized, don't you even know that? Randi: no, the hoax was successful. Victor: then do you know that local experts briefed up journalist George Negus that Jose Alvarez was a fake, a cheat, and a liar? That he was saying the wrong things, waving his hands up and down in a blatant, unnatural, artificial and incompetent and meaningless way, that this Alvarez very shortly was seen as a joke trying to fool decent, honest people? Randi: no, I don't accept that. Victor: what would you say to the response given by Channel 9 that Channel 9 legally did not and could not cooperate with you? They received information about the event, and they just reported the event as they would report any bizarre event. Randi: it must have been under a different network manager. Victor: but you said just now that Channel 9 co-organized the Carlos affair hoax with you to fool the public. Don't you know that if a television or any media company participates in deliberate public fraudulent conduct to mislead and to deceive, it could pay heavy statutory monetary penalties, over $1 million, and it could lose its television license to broadcast nationally? And you try to tell and impute to the court and the public that Channel 9's 60 Minutes program organized the Carlos Hoax on your behalf? or in conjunction with you, to take huge risks on some unemployed foreign tourist called Alvarez residing in Bronx, in the United States, on a very short visit to Sydney, to intentionally and deliberately promote fraud and dishonesty, and to participate in misleading and deceptive conduct, to cheat the Australian public? Randi, silent. Victor looks at the judge. Yes, yes. Judge, to Randi, answer the question. Rand, I cannot answer that. Nobody would be able to prove that anyone was deceived. Victor, don't you know that the relevant federal statutory law in relation to misleading and fraudulent conduct shows that the complainant does not have to prove fraud, merely to show that the conduct could be misleading. It could be fraudulent, which in this case would be very easy to do. Randi, I don't know these things. Victor, I am sure the jury heard your answer to that one, didn't he? You know that Australians are some 10 times more skeptical than Americans, and they always use the presumption of fraud when some alleged overseas guru visits Australia to fleece them of their hard-earned money. Randi, I didn't know people in Australia were that skeptical, as you say they are. Victor, why don't you want to accept that whilst Alvarez might have fooled a few people initially, using deception and fraud, he was exposed as the greatest fraud who ever visited Australia? Randi, I still say that the Carlos affair was successful. Victor, do you mean you were successful in the dishonesty, fraudulent and misleading conduct and cheating you organized through your stooge Alvarez? Randi, it wasn't dishonesty. Victor, you conceded you were responsible for the hoax, and is not a hoax about misleading and fooling decent people, about dishonesty, fraud, lying, cheating. Is that your contribution in this world as a human being? Randi, keeping quiet, it was honest. Victor, oh yes, you were doing the old, honest deception trick again, and we are laughing out loud. Part 7, next week. www.victorzamet.com homepage.